you all doing? Hope you're having a great day and welcome back to my art video stuff. And basically today I'm just doing some studies of some bunch of skulls, 3 skulls to be exact. The first one is like a gorilla skull, the second one is a crow, and the third one is a lion skull. And I thought, in this background, while playing this background music, it's nice and chill, so I hope you feel relaxed while just watching me doing a bunch of studies. I hope it's like entertaining enough for you people out there. So obviously the very first one I did the gorilla skull, obviously sketched out the shapes for this one, and I decided from the references, I've seen a whole bunch of them, and there was one particular lighting that I really liked, which was very warm tones, so I went with warmish tones of like reds, oranges, yellows, and just painting in the colours of desaturated colours and to the very saturated, just to add a bit of things. And I've been learning offside as well, trying to study paintings and stuff like that, you know, like the masters paintings of how they would use colour, and I've learned they tend to use like desaturated colours basically, and then they work their way with saturated colours, or trying to do the contrast between the dull desaturated colours and the bright contrast colours. I could be just saying crap, but yeah. So that's basically what I've learned as I try to apply to this, and I like so I was playing around with warmish tones and playing around with different brushes as well to add different textures, which makes it more interesting than trying to avoid like way too smoothed airbrush kind of look basically, just to keep the interest up. So obviously with this I just work back and forth with the different shadows, the lighting, where the lighting's coming from, rim lighting thing, and the shadows and stuff like that. By the way, this particular export of the gorilla skull, it was a freaking nightmare to do. It took hours, even sometimes in the very end it didn't exactly save, but did the whole thing. It was a nightmare. There was times I had to stay up. Obviously it's not the worst thing sometimes. It's done now, so it's whatever. Which I'm glad, like my days, it was a nightmare. So yeah, back to the freaking skull. So zooming in, back out, adding more highlights and whatnot, and then I start painting in the background. I was constantly changing my mind how I want this to look, how I want to paint in the shapes and stuff like that, and just seeing textures. Like I like to play around as I go along. Oh, it was a bit laggy, I didn't realise. So yeah, just doing this and that, and here it is. I went off the screen and did it myself because I was faffing. And the second one is probably my favourite study that I've done. This is a raven skull that I did. So obviously I sketched out with a chalk brush, and just doing these kinds of things. By the way, when I was doing these studies, I was trying to improve my digital art in general, because digital art is still very new to me, because I mostly did traditional. Eventually I'll get the gear for it, but it kind of forces me to actually do some digital stuff, which I actually enjoy doing. It's so much fun, and seeing people doing digital work is freaking amazing. So anyway, back to this. So I drew this, making it bigger and tweaking the position of it. And this is the part when I colour in. So basically I use more or less dark blues and very dark purples, desaturated, and a bunch of greys as well, and a bunch of desaturated yellows, oranges, and just colouring it all in, just basically applying different colours, different base colours. Oh my god, I can never talk bloody properly. So yeah, and adding a bit of desaturated magenta, just working my way up as I go along, and the bloody Pinterest gave me a notification for stuff I ain't gonna care about. So yeah, and just using different brushes like I did with the first one and blending stuff out. And this is when I applied the greens, and it actually made it very interesting to the whole thing. Like, the more colours used, the more interesting the painting actually looks. Sometimes you don't even that many colours, you can limit yourself with very few colours, and then there's ones that like people just use a bunch of colours. Anyway, so I did a lot of light highlights and then shadows of different greens, different like very earthy olive greens, I think that was. And I made the skull bit bigger. Sorry. Oh, I'm disgusting. Anyway, erasing some of the lines, just to get rid of the lines that I don't really need, adding more shadows, and yeah, just constantly working on the details and refining, and you know, make it slightly realistic but not too realistic. Yeah. Anyway, I'm so awkward, you know? I'm so awkward. When you watch my videos, I bet you cringe for the past few videos that I make. But if you stick around to the very end, I am freaking grateful that you did. So yeah, adding more colours, more shadows, and just constantly painting in textures and stuff like that. Yeah, this one had less hassle with exporting, thank the Lord for that. And yeah, it was the smoothest to export, and didn't take millions of years. So this is the part when I added details to the shape, and like certain details of crevices and stuff like that, and added more greens there, and try not to spend too long on these skulls, because at the end of the day this is supposed to be a quick study. So yeah, I pretty much was happy with the skull, so I started working on the background and just seeing, I prefer the greyish blues just to kind of match the background but make it darker at least, and I cropped it to the size. And then just went back to work on some more cleaning and refining the thing. Remember not to take too freaking long to do this one. And yeah, that's pretty much the second skull done. To the next one. Now the very last one is a lion skull. Unfortunately, I had a few technical difficulties at the very last second of this video, and I apologise if the lagging is, at least for the first couple of seconds. The drawing part was a-okay. It ran pretty smoothly at the very beginning, but then later on of the drawing and the colouring and all that stuff, it just went downhill. I don't know, I could probably went back to fix this issue. By the way, I like the sketch of the flying skull. It looks pretty good so far. A couple of strokes there and there, and this popped up to experiment colour schemes. Yeah, I think this is a part when it got a little very laggy. Not to the point I can't show this, but there was times it lagged, then it went back to smooth, then it lagged, and yeah, so I apologise if this bothers you a lot. You can skip to the end or whatever, or you can still watch it. I don't know what floats your boat, I guess. But yeah, I probably could have went back to fix this, but I kind of want to get it out on that day or something, I don't know, just to show you my study. But I don't know, like out of the two skulls I've done at the very beginning, it was running pretty smoothly, especially after exporting and all that. But the third one, it just decides not to work, which is a bit of a pain, but sometimes I learn as I go, and I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with YouTube and making videos. It's a lot of hard work, but I actually enjoy constantly working on different projects and stuff like that. But I sometimes forget to do breaks, but I would try to remember, take this break and this break. Oh, this is a part when I colour in the tiger skull. Basically, I went a bit more interesting and experiment a little bit with this one. I basically tried to use contrasting colours for the shading and the main colour. Like, I use mostly yellow and purples for this skull. So yeah, as I was saying, I try my best not to be too awkward, but I've been feeling a little bit more comfortable as time goes on and not feeling too anxious making these videos. Like the very first one, I was so anxious, but I'm doing alright. Like I'm starting to relax a bit more, getting really comfortable, and making sure I be the best I can be, and just keeping making more content, you know, and just seeing how it rises, the comments and stuff. Like so far, the people who are commenting have said nice things so far. Thank you very much. It actually helps me a lot, and I'll try my best to make more content for you guys, and hopefully you stick around. Anyway, so I added more shading and saturations to this, like adding highlights and stuff like that. And this time I kind of kept the sketchy look, but eventually I did paint over some lines. And this is when I used the dark purple for the dark shadows and stuff like that. And yeah, still laggy as heck, but at least it's slowly trying to recover itself. I hope. But yeah, it's alright. And then adding a tint of like oranges down there, just add more colours and interest to the study. And by the way, let me know how you feel about these studies and videos that I've been making. It'll be good to know what you guys think of it. So yeah, so I zoomed all the way out just to see the whole image, trying to figure out what needs to be painted in, what not needs to be painted in, basically. This is not the most favourite draw of a skull, really. It's not the best one I've done, but hey ho, it's just a study, and not all of my studies or drawings or paintings ain't gonna be perfect. And not being afraid to post it or post it whatever I want is a-okay. Like, as artists, we practice technically most of the time, and then there's some that are like really good paintings, but it's good to share a bit of practice there and there, because most of the time we artists we practice a lot. So yeah, finally we got to the painting of the background. So yeah, pretty much trying to add turquoisey colours and greens and all that, and I did the square bit, like the table looking drawing of it in blues and terribly shade. So yeah, that's pretty much done. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video of doing a bunch of sketches and studies. So yeah, I hope you have a great day and stay creative. Okay, goodbye.